Belgium is becoming a narco-state. That sounds crazy, no? But that's the warning from a number of high-level members of the judiciary in that country. A month or so ago, the Antwerp Court of Appeal published an open letter from an anonymous investigative judge who said the importation of drugs into that country through the reports had led to rampant corruption and violence. Something like 70% of all cocaine in Europe flows through Belgium, and the judge said that mafia groups were indiscriminately carrying out shootings, kidnappings, torture, and money laundering. Today, The Guardian published an article following up on that anonymous letter in which they talked to two high-level sources on the record, and those folks corroborated and doubled down on those warnings. They included the president of the Antwerp Court of Appeal and the prosecutor general for Antwerp and the Limburg regions. Now, obviously, this is a wild story, especially for an outsider looking in, but the parts of the story that stood out to me were first, how much stronger the allegations were coming from named sources. The bread and butter of journalism isn't constructing narratives whole cloth, but rather amplifying, challenging, and contextualizing narratives that already exist in society. And while there is a time and a place for anonymous voices, it means so much more when folks actually put their names to their comments. And that's just as true for low-stakes journalism as it is when drug cartels are threatening to break your judicial system. Here's the other thought that I had while reading through this article. This entire story is built around these two voices, and them alone. There's no quotes from other community members, other politicians, or other impacted parties. And maybe that's because of the whole intimidation element that's going on here. But if this really is a danger to social stability, as the judges are saying, then that reality will be being felt widely, and it would have been more compelling for the reporting to capture that more holistically. The final question that occurs to me is any of this being overstated? The judges are calling for major funding and major reforms, and clearly they have a vested interest in conditions seem as intense as possible. Regardless, this story is wild, and something to think about next time we hear about boring old Belgium in the news.